Alright, today I have kind of an interesting video I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. And it is comparing the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera OG to the DJI Pocket 3. I recently picked up the DJI Pocket 3 maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. I had the original Pocket, Osmo Pocket, and I didn't have the Pocket 2. Jumped right to the Pocket 3. What was appealing to me about the Pocket 3 we'll get into a little later on in the video, but I just thought it's a compelling comparison between the original Pocket from Blackmagic and DJI's latest offerings, which are extremely pocketable themselves and offer a lot of features that the original Blackmagic Pocket obviously did not have. So let's jump right into it. I've got some test footage that I'm going to put in here as B-roll as we move along. In the case of the Blackmagic Pocket OG, it is a true cinema camera in the sense that it shoots RAW, it shoots a 1080p image. The controls and workflow are very much the way that you would encounter in a production cinema camera. A very simple set of controls and settings, no still photography, so straight up cinema camera. The DJI Pocket 3 is also a video-centric camera. It's predominantly video, although I do believe it does take stills as well. It's designed to be a video camera. It shoots a log profile. I believe it's D-log. And it also has a 10-bit encoding. So you're getting a log 10-bit image, which is great. It's a small sensor as well. I should have mentioned in the Blackmagic OG. You have a Super 16 millimeter sensor, and in the Osmo Pocket 3 we have a 1-inch sensor. So very comparable sized sensors. I think the DJI Pocket has a slightly larger sensor, and the Blackmagic Pocket OG has the upper hand in the 12-bit RAW that it can shoot. Form factor wise, let's take a look at them in terms of form factor. Here's the Pocket 3, and here's the Blackmagic. So we can see that, definitely there's a bit of a size advantage in terms of a smaller size to the Pocket. The bottom portion is just the tripod. Of course, there is no tripod attached to this OG, and it has a zoom lens 12 to 35, which is the equivalent of about a 35 to 105 in full frame terms, focal angle of view. And then this has a 24 millimeter base field of view, and then a zoom mode that goes up to 2x, so about a 50 millimeter field of view at the long end. So there, obviously there is a wide angle lens that you can buy, an attachment. I'm not sure if there's a tele lens. That'd be something interesting to look at too. But the benefit of these types of cameras is the all-in-one factor. You don't really want to be messing with lenses, although it does take filters, and on here you can see that I do have a variable ND filter to make it possible to do manual exposure, as well as on this one I have a variable ND as well. So form factor wise, both of them are very small, and if you put a single focal length lens on here like the 20 millimeter that I have, it's a very pocketable camera. It's still pocketable in khakis and jackets and that type of thing with this form factor, but you throw the 20 mil on there and it becomes extremely pocketable. This one here, you can throw it in your front pocket, no problem. Has a case that comes with it to keep it protected. So both of them are small form factors, easy to carry around. No real big issues using the camera. It's easy to carry with you, so you're gonna have really high usability. Pull it out when you want it. You're not going to get a lot of negative feedback from people around you as you're filming because they're such small, compact units. People aren't intimidated by them, generally speaking. I do think that there's a slight edge to the OG Pocket, Blackmagic Pocket, in terms of the reaction from people. The DJI Pocket 3 is kind of known as a vlogger camera, and although it may be a little bit of an edge case, I think that there might be a little bit more reaction to seeing the Pocket 3, especially if you're talking into it, versus the Blackmagic Pocket OG, which just looks very much like a very consumer grade, lower end point and shoot. Which of course it was a consumer grade product when it was released. Both of them have roughly similar price points on release. The DJI Pocket 3 is going for around, on the used market in Canada, around $850. $800 to $850, that's what I see it at the majority of the time. There had been some supply issues, so that may have kept the price a little bit high. It might be dropping down now a little bit. Whereas the Pocket OG is still hovering around that, I'm going to say around $600 Canadian mark. I think that's a reasonable amount of money for a perfect example of OG. Like, with everything working, it might have a few dings and usage indicators on it, but it still has a functioning HDMI, still has a functioning, the screen's in perfect condition, all that type of thing. So those ones are going for around $600. People try to get more for them, but I don't really see them selling for more than around that $600 mark. So price-wise, both of them are very comparable. Recently, I took both of these cameras on a trip on the sailboat, my sailboat Enjoy, and did a video. It's on my channel. I did a trip to Montague Bay, which is on the southern end of Galiano Island in the southern Gulf Islands in British Columbia near Vancouver. And I used those two cameras, predominantly used the DJI Pocket 3 as my sort of vlogging camera when I was talking to camera. And then I used the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera for most of the Vista stuff, like the B-roll and the more. I think what you would see when we look at the sample images is that there is a little bit of an advantage still to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera OG. Even though it's got a lower resolution, it's only an HD image, the color density and I think that raw workflow really does pay dividends in the overall look of the image. It's a very cinematic image, and it's a very recognizable image. Not to say that the DJI Pocket 3 is not a good image. It is a good image as well, particularly when we are using the 10-bit codecs and the D-Log, which is a log profile. You're getting a much more gradable image. I'll put them both up on screen as an A-B comparison like I did with my Arri Alexa versus Red 1MX video, and you can see which you think is the better looking image, or if you can tell the difference between the two images, A-B, and then at the end we'll discuss which is which. So that's my short and sweet review of the Pocket OG versus the new DJI Pocket 3. Which do I prefer? Well, again, I think they're complementary more than anything. Because they're both so small and so easy to carry and use, I'd actually prefer to have both, because each of them does have that area where they excel. In the case of the Blackmagic Pocket OG, it's got that beautiful image. It's not a stabilized image, but you throw it on a tripod, or you could put it on a gimbal, but then it gets a little bit bulkier. If you hold it still with the stabilized lens, you can get pretty good images. It's not that shaky. Obviously the DJI Pocket 3 with the built-in gimbal is a much more steady shot. I think it's really good for talking head, vlogging type of situations. Very easy to like switch it from turn it. You just do a triple click, it'll go right to your face and face track. A triple click again, turns around, goes back to the front view. So in that way, it's a very usable camera for a walk around camera as well. If I was going to do something a little bit more calculated and produced and lit and blocked out and kind of pre-planned, I think I would still go with the Blackmagic Pocket OG because it is more of a full-featured cinema camera. So in that respect, I think it's a little easier to work with in your and also the lensing. You can add pretty much any type of lens to it in order to get the effect that you want. Although with the smaller sensor size, you do have to be aware, maybe use speed boosters. I have the original Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera speed booster for EF lenses, and so that's a very that really does emulate like a Super 35 size sensor. If you put that speed booster on, it really does increase the focal width. If that makes sense, you get a much wider field of view with lenses by using that speed booster, and it also steps down the light, the aperture, so you get a little bit more light gathering ability as well with that. So yeah, I think for more serious productions, thoughtful, thought out, produced segments, the Blackmagic OG with an external recorder makes for a very beautiful production instrument, whereas the DJI Pocket 3 I think really excels as that walk around vlogging sort of camera. In fact, the DJI Pocket 3, I basically replaced my Sony FX30 with the DJI Pocket 3, sold the FX30, and now I'm pretty happy with the Pocket 3 as that kind of walk around vlogging type camera. So that's it for today. Let me know in the comments below if you could pick the difference between the two in the A/B shootout and which one you preferred. And are you using either of these cameras or both of these cameras? If so, what are you using those cameras for? Are you shooting professionally? Are you just doing your home video with it? Or are you doing kind of a blend of both? YouTubing? What is it that you're using these cameras for in 2025? Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.